Engineers at NASA figured out a way to make solar-powered rocket thrusters. Meta's new app Thread sets a new record for downloads. The Federal Trade Commission opens an investigation on the effects of OpenAI, and Elon Musk's new xAI company wants to understand the true nature of the universe. All that and more next on The Computer Doctor Show.
You're listening to The Computer Doctor Show, your source for technology subjects affecting your business and personal life during this new normal. Your host is an award-winning office technician and IT specialist, author, tutor, ethical hacker, and recent winner on localbest.com as the best computer shop in Tucson. Broadcasting live, here's Aaron Moss.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Computer Doctor Show, your headquarters for up-to-date scam awareness, science, and cutting-edge technology talk. And this is episode 139. I'm Aaron Moss, your host. Thanks for tuning in with us every Saturday at 2 p.m. And we post all of our shows and bonus content on ComputerDoctorShow.com and the Computer Doctor Show YouTube channel. We would love to hear from you, so give us a call during the show with your computer, internet, cybersecurity comments and questions on our open studio line, 520-790-2040. Hosting today, we have Mike from the Cassie Unscrewed Theater.
Hello.
Welcome, sir. And also, it's also Ransom Awareness Month and World Emoji Day.
Oh boy,
so,
I'm going to send some extra emojis tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. The Computer Doctor Show is sponsored by Perfection Auto Works. So if you are looking for top quality auto repairs that exceed your expectations, look no further than Perfection Auto Works. Perfection Auto Works will get the job done right the first time, from routine maintenance to major repairs. Perfection Auto Works aims to surpass their customers' expectations. So visit Perfection Auto Works and experience why they are the trusted name in auto repair in Tucson. Call 323-8650 or visit perfectionautoworks.com. Perfection Auto Works, where perfection is not just a word, it is their commitment. And if you like the Computer Doctor Show, please support our sponsors. We have a great technology show, so let's get right into some of these tech news items here. When I came across this headline, I was frazzled.
Oh, nice.
I was like, how on earth is this possible?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what it says. It says, engineers at NASA figured out how to make, get this, electric-powered thrusters.
Okay.
Electric-powered thruster.
Right.
Now, just think about that for a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Thrusters, something that puts out thrust and drives a vehicle forward.
In the opposite direction, right?
Electrically.
Mm-hmm.
In space.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, here's the problem. Here's the challenge. If you're trying to move an object where there is, in space, where there's no friction,
right,
no gravity,
right,
no air,
right,
okay? So you can't use a propeller because propeller requires friction and air,
mm-hmm,
okay? You can't, and if you're not going to be using some sort of chemical fuel to explode your way and push you as a projectile of that explosion forward.
How do you make it happen?
How do you use just electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, they've come up with moving a space vehicle without displacing mass. It's called the Solar Electric Propulsion Thruster, or SEP. And here's how this thing works. There's electricity that is used to ionize gases such as xenon and krypton. These are just inert gases that don't really, do anything.
Right.
But they ionize it with electricity.
Right.
They induct some sort of charge into them that ionizes them. And then a magnetic or electrostatic field is used to accelerate them into a particular direction, opposite of what they are.
Of what they're trying to go.
And it's basically like a hollow-looking cylinder.
Okay.
And they are propelled at such speed that
causes thrust.
It causes thrust in the opposite direction.
So gas and electricity, ionized gas and electricity.
Right. But here's the thing. Where is the power coming from? It's coming strictly from electricity, obviously powered by batteries. And if the sunlight from the sun has the ability to reach pretty much any location in the entire solar system.
Right.
So if you can harness the power of solar energy, charge up those batteries, you can continue to propel and travel throughout the solar system for
As long as you can carry gas.
as long as you have that access to the sun. You could always charge up
Right.
those batteries. As long as the batteries are working, you could always ionize that gas and thrust it out.
Yeah.
Engineers claim that this type of thruster can reach speeds faster than fossil fuel rockets with the big, explosions
Yeah.
and the big smoke and all that. They can do that same thing with electricity. Okay, so now I've actually seen. We're gonna be posting pictures of this on our website. If you go to computerdoctorshow.com, click episodes and find episode 139, you'll see a link there in the comments when we post this episode. You'll see that there is a picture of the engine, and it's kind of cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it, I was immediately thinking that it looks a lot like these sci-fi movies. It looks like something out of Star Wars. It looks like something out of Star Trek.
Mhm.
It's a glowing circle.
Okay.
Okay, no fins, no moving parts. It's just emanating this light, and thrust is coming out.
Wow.
And all those ships that you see in the movies,
Yeah.
I was like, that could be,
What we're actually going towards.
an electric thruster.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're developing, and they're going to be developing over the next 5 and 10 years. But that's the concept of it, so that's pretty exciting.
Right.
I can't help but think of the word warp or hyperdrive,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, are fake sci-fi fantasy terms.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as warp drive
No.
or hyperdrive, anything like that. But if they can make these thrusters get up there, hey, who knows?
Who knows? Next step.
Also, Meta has this new app, Threads.
Threads. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Have you gotten your Threads account?
I have not. I am not on any social media except for Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah.
like a caveman.
Yes.
Well, some generations would call you a caveman. Okay,
yeah,
so,
rightfully
reports have said over 100 million
Yeah.
downloads in the first week or so, which sets a new record for the most downloads the most downloads of a new release, I should
Right.
say.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why it's so easy to do is because it migrates with your
Instagram account.
so easily.
Yeah.
And Instagram currently has 2.3 billion active users worldwide.
That's a lot.
So I would say that only about 1 in 20 Instagram users have actually opened up their Thread accounts.
Yeah.
So if that's what they're trying to do, well, that's why it's so easy.
Yeah.
Okay, and a lot of these are being done by a lot of influencers. I
Sure.
think that number represents the number or the ratio of people that are trying to be influencers, yours truly as well. Okay, if you're trying to be an influencer, you're one of 20.
Right.
Every 20th person that is trying to do things on social media are trying to become influencers, high rankings, high followers, high friends, all
Right.
that. So otherwise, you're just an average user, just on there looking at feeds and things
Mhm.
like that. But it's interesting, about 1 in 20 or so.
Yeah.
Also, the Federal Trade Commission opens an investigation on the effects of OpenAI. This is something that is we're going to start seeing this more often in the headlines as AI continues to make its debut into our life. It's already made its debut, but now people are really starting to get into the crux of what some of the long-term effects could be.
Sure.
And
It's brand new. They're trying to figure out what it means.
what it means, what its boundaries are, and
Right.
what some of those, how to enforce those boundaries.
Exactly.
It can do a lot of good, but it's a very, very powerful. It's a
Used for
powerful
bad.
tool.
Mhm.
It can be used for good, or it can be very powerful used for bad.
Yep.
We're not going to go over how it can be used for bad,
No.
because I don't want to be the reason why bad things happen.
Yeah.
So part of the regulations across the board, like we said, to find and enforce boundaries, more focused on is the accurate information to consumers. Consumers that buy things and kind of fuel the economy, the trading that happens here in the United States is based on information that is dispersed by various types of media, through news, through commercial, enterprise, and things of that sort. If information is inaccurate and it gets kind of pounced through the public, now the public forms an opinion that's not based on fact. And that's exactly what AI does all the time.
Right.
It will produce a very convincing argument that sounds like it makes sense,
Right.
but it could be wrong. So
You still have to do some homework. You can't just trust.
right. Well, when I'm talking to people casually about it, people ask me, Aaron, can AI be trusted? I said you have to treat AI just like you would when you Google something,
Right.
or when you look at something on the internet. There's a certain level of trust that you'll be willing to give it. If it's something that this organization says and the next organization says, and you're getting the same information from several sources,
Right.
trusted sources, maybe sources that you may have trusted in the past or that have a pattern of being accurate, then that could be something that, hey, this might be true.
Right.
But it's also very interesting to see what the AI says.
Mhm.
And then you can counter that and double check to see what it is.
Yeah.
But specifically, ChatGPT's capability to generate statements about real individuals that are false, misleading, or disparaging. And they're worried about the accuracy to consumers, and they're also worried about the reputation of people.
Right.
Okay, so again, we're going to keep you guys up to date with the Federal Trade Commission and other organizations are doing here in the United States with regard to the effects of OpenAI. Since this service operates in the USA, the FTC does have the power to subpoena information from these organizations, and that's what basically they are doing.
Interesting.
So
I will be following that with interest for sure.
it is time to take our midway commercial break with a word from our sponsors. Up next, Science and Tech History, and this week's Top 5. And Elon Musk's new XAI company wants to understand the true nature of the universe. This is the Computer Doctor Show. We'll be right back.
In the sky first crashed to Earth near
Evidence of a UFO crash.
Numerous other UFO crashes all over the world.
Thought potentially it was a downdraft or a draft in distress.
Call toll-free.
Meanwhile, on planet Zoltron,
We Zoltron are looking very foolish to the citizens of Earth. Our Edsel spacecraft continued crashing all over the planet. What do you intend to do about this?
Your High Praetor, at present, we have our spy ships over Perfection Autoworks to abstract the repair algorithms they use to keep their automobiles in perfect running condition.
Mission accomplished. The information obtained from Perfection Autoworks now have all our spacecraft working perfectly. What was that?
Praetor, that was an enemy ship. They obtained their information from Jerky Lube.
Well done, Zoltrons. Now back to our mission of terrifying planet Earth.
You don't have to be from another planet to get perfection. Just call 323-8650 and perfectionautoworks.com.
Computer Doctor of Tucson is the best choice in desktop support in Tucson. They fix error messages, power and boot problems, install of software and hardware, and much more. You can come to them, or they can come to you, or even have a remote support session so they can fix your issues over the phone quickly. Give them a call at 261-5508, 261-5508. Visit them on the web at computerdrtucson.com. Computer Doctor of Tucson, because technology is great when it works.
Welcome back to the Computer Doctor Show, your source for scam awareness, science, and cutting-edge technology talk. I'm Aaron Moss, your host, along with Mike, co-hosting today from the Unscrewed Theater. Before we get into the next segment, Mike, tell us about the Unscrewed Theater.
Yeah, Unscrewed Theater was Tucson's first theater dedicated to improv comedy. We are located at 4500 East Speedway Boulevard between Columbus and Swan. We do All ages appropriate shows every Friday and Saturday at 7:30. And we are nominated in the Best of Tucson this year for a handful of categories. Best Family Night, Best Comedy Night, and Best Theater. We'd love your listeners to go and vote for us in one or all of those categories.
Okay. Do you have, so you go to unscrewedtheater.org. It's the website. Do you have a link on the website there so that people can vote?
But I don't know. I'll have to double check.
Oh, okay.
I know.
I think, and I believe that deadline is coming in just a few short days. So anyone that wants to help the Unscrewed Theater, go out and vote for the best for the best of. And there's about 200 categories. So
there's a lot.
There's a lot of categories.
But you don't have to vote for all of them. You just have to do about 30%, I think, or something like that, or 30 total.
Yeah, you don't have to vote on every single category, but it's great for local business. It's not political, so it's just business, helping local businesses, and just telling the rest of the public which one of these businesses is the best in each of their categories.
Yeah.
And I'll also say the Computer Doctor of Tucson would like to be voted on as well. So if you see our name on there, please vote for us as well. Obviously, do it honestly. If you have not done business with the Computer Doctor of Tucson, go ahead and get us nominated and get us voted. We greatly appreciate that. Also, here we are going to take a look at science and tech history, and we have about 4 on the list there. Mike, what's the first one?
So, July 16th, 1935, 88 years ago, first parking meter was installed in Oklahoma.
I wonder whose idea that was.
I don't know.
The funny thing about it is there did come a time where congestion started becoming a problem, because more and more it used to be horse and buggy time, but then in large cities where you had small streets and businesses didn't want people blocking access to their businesses, they had to set limits. Okay, and of course the parking meter. And I wonder who got the first parking meter ticket.
I don't know. It'll be for another episode, maybe.
Yeah, there we go. All right, what's the next one?
July 16th, 2006, 17 years ago, Twitter was launched.
17 years of Twitter.
17 years. That means there is a whole generation who's never not known Twitter.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
And, I don't know of a lot of young people that are Twitters.
That's true.
Twitter has always been someone for the application for people of a certain age. Okay.
Just like Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, in our caveman days. So, by the way, I don't knock Facebook because, hey, I'm on Facebook. I'm on just about all the social medias except for Snapchat and Telegram, I think.
Okay.
I'm on just about everything else.
Sure.
So I'm not knocking anything, but I try to take advantage of everything that's out there.
Absolutely.
So 17 years with Twitter. Okay, what's next?
July 17th, 1902, 121 years ago. First modern air conditioner, Willis Haviland Carrier.
Right. He was the inventor of the modern air conditioner. Now there were lots of ways of cooling even before that, but
Sure.
we're talking about the modern air conditioning process where you have a pump and you have a compressor and you have a condenser that turns the gas back into a liquid, and then it freezes and the air flows out from the radiator,
right?
Whatever it's called. Now I'm not an HVAC person, so I don't know all the technical names of this stuff. But if it wasn't for modern air conditioners, and like we were talking about before the show, the technology of drilling wells, nobody would settle here in Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix. There would be very, very little happening out here. It would be a ghost town, a place to pitch a tent and move on. So
it'd be very tough to live here.
Very, very, very tough. Okay, what's next?
Last one is July 18th, 1968, 55 years ago. Intel was founded.
55 years ago.
55 years ago.
Yeah, Intel. Now, Intel still has a large market share. As we've mentioned in previous episodes, Apple has started making their own chips. Okay. There's lots of chip manufacturers. Of course, we had the chip shortage through the pandemic. The chip shortage is kind of returning. It's abating, and there's a lot of chip manufacturers coming right here to Arizona. Lots of places up in Chandler are starting to do a lot of chip manufacturing and battery manufacturing and research on batteries because more and more things are going more electric. So
I think Tucson's getting one or both of those type of industries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, on the outskirts. There's lots of self-driving. There's a lot of automotive things that are happening right here in Tucson. Not the full manufacturing. Those are still taking place in Texas and California, a little bit in Mexico. Certainly not Detroit anymore. But a lot of the components development, research and development of those components are being researched right here in Arizona. So we feel glad about that. Here are the Computer Doctor Show top 5s for this week in honor of Meta's new app Threads hitting an all-time high number of downloads in its first week. Here are the top 5 social media apps with the highest number of monthly active users. What do you think? Keep in mind that this is a list for social media platforms that have a feed, not just for messaging.
Right.
Starting with number 5, we have Snapchat.
Right.
557 million monthly active users. Okay, that's Snapchat. Number 4 would be TikTok. TikTok has 1 billion monthly average users. This is all from the first quarter of March. So TikTok is number 1. I'm sorry, TikTok was number 4. Number 3 is Instagram. 1.47 billion monthly active users. 1.47 billion. Number 2 is YouTube. 2.56 billion monthly active users. That's a lot of ads.
Lots and lots and lots.
Okay, and number 1, Facebook. Still Facebook. The caveman's win. Facebook, 2.989 billion monthly average users, and that was taken from April of 2023. Okay, so a few honorable mentions. Twitter and LinkedIn did not make the list for some reason. The user count was not high enough. And also Messenger, WhatsApp, and Telegram and WeChat did not make the list because they are not social media by my definition. They're
primarily messaging.
They're just messaging, exactly. 988 turns 1 year. Emergency suicide mental emergency hotline was formed with a quick and easy to remember 988. So that's 1 year old. So our last story, Elon Musk's new AI company wants to understand the true nature of the universe. So that's what they're telling. If you go to the XAI website, 2 days ago, they even had a Twitter live session to discuss the future of AI in general. So apparently humans are giving up on the universe. We're trying to figure out, we're outsourcing research to AI. So
you guys
that's
will figure it out.
So we haven't figured this out. So apparently some of the greatest minds in the world now want to just dump all of that research onto AI. And I think I'm okay with that.
I think I am too.
Okay. Before we wrap up, I just want to thank our sponsor again, Perfection Auto Works, for sponsoring our show. Stop by their location at Speedway and Craycroft for your free 26-point inspection. And as always, don't click unverified links in emails or text messages. Use a password manager. Always look at the address bar. Check activity on your bank statements on a regular basis. Enable two-factor authentication. Verify all incoming and outgoing calls, back up your system to the cloud, and listen to the Computer Doctor Show live on Saturdays and post it as podcast on Tuesdays. If you missed any part of this episode, go to computerdoctorshow.com, click episodes, and find episode 139. My name is Aaron Moss, your host and technology expert. My co-hosting today from the Unscrewed Theater, Tom Fairbanks, is at the control board. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Computer Doctor Show. If you missed any part of this live broadcast, we post all our episodes online at computerdoctorshow.com. Remember, the world is getting more and more tech, and so should you. To stay current with technology, listen to The Computer Doctor Show each week for local and global tech insights. If you have suggestions for a topic on a future show, send us an email at info@computerdoctorshow.com.